This is $537,000, the exact amount most people accidentally throw away by age 55 without ever realizing it. And it all starts with 5 purchases that seem completely harmless right now. 5 things that your brain has been literally engineered to crave, that every advertisement you've ever seen has conditioned you to want, and that will absolutely guarantee you stay broke for the rest of your life. Here's what nobody tells you about building wealth. It's not actually about making more money. The average person who earns $75,000 a year and avoids these 5 things will end up wealthier than someone earning $150,000 who doesn't. Because wealth isn't built by what you buy. It's built by what you refuse to buy, even when your brain is screaming at you to do it. I'm an accountant who spent the last 6 years obsessing over why some people get rich and others don't. And here I share financial strategies that actually work for regular people. If you're tired of feeling like you're working hard but never getting ahead, and you want to understand the invisible forces keeping you broke, make sure to subscribe because we're about to completely rewire how you think about spending money. Now, before we get into the 5 specific things, let me paint you a picture of what we're actually dealing with here. Your brain right now, in this exact moment, is under attack. There are entire departments at major corporations whose only job is to figure out how to make you buy things you don't need with money you don't have. They've run the studies. They know exactly which color makes you pull out your credit card. They know the precise word that triggers the dopamine hit in your brain that feels exactly like the rush you'd get from actually becoming wealthy, except it disappears in about 48 hours and leaves you broker than you were before. And here's the thing that makes me genuinely angry as someone who works with money every single day. The purchases that feel the best, the ones that give you that immediate hit of, I'm doing well, are precisely the ones that guarantee you'll never actually do well. It's like your brain has been hijacked to sabotage your own future. So let's talk about what's actually happening when you hand over money for these 5 things, because this isn't just about the sticker price. Every dollar you spend on these items has an invisible price tag attached to it that most people never see. That dollar, if you'd invested it instead, would turn into $4.66 over 20 years with average market returns. Every $100 becomes $466. Every $1,000 becomes $4,660. Which means that $10,000 purchase you're about to make, the real cost is $46,600 of your future wealth. The first thing that's keeping you broke is the new car. And I know what you're thinking right now because I hear this constantly. But I need a car to get to work. Yes, you do. What you don't need is a $45,000 vehicle that loses $9,000 of value the second you drive it off the lot. Let me walk you through the actual math here because it's genuinely insane. The average new car payment in America right now is $739 per month. Most people finance for 6 years. That's $53,208 just in payments. And we haven't even talked about the higher insurance costs, the higher registration fees, or the fact that you're now making payments on a depreciating asset. But here's where it gets really interesting. If instead of that $739 payment, you bought a $12,000 used car in cash and invested that $739 every month for those same 6 years, you'd have $64,847. And that car you bought for $12,000, it's probably still worth $8,000 because used car depreciation is way slower than new car depreciation. But it gets worse. And this is the part that will blow your mind. If you kept doing that, kept driving modest paid-off cars, and investing that $739 monthly payment for 30 years, you'd have $1,087,443. That's not a typo, $1.08 million. The difference between driving new cars and driving reliable used cars is literally the difference between retiring a millionaire and working until you're 75. And here's what makes this so psychologically brutal. Buying a new car feels like success. It smells like success. That new car smell is literally the scent of your future wealth evaporating. Car companies know this. They've designed the entire experience, from the showroom to the smell to the way the salesman makes you feel, to hijack the part of your brain that equates spending money with being successful. The second thing destroying your wealth is financing furniture and electronics. This one kills me because I see it constantly, and it's so normalized now that people don't even realize they're doing it. You walk into a store, you see 0% interest for 36 months, and your brain translates that into free money. But here's the thing, there is no such thing as zero-cost debt. Stores that offer financing make their money back by marking up the price. That $3,000 couch, it would be $2,200 if you paid cash. Plus, and this is critical, the moment you start making monthly payments on furniture, you've introduced a monthly obligation that restricts your future flexibility. You've locked yourself into a payment schedule for an asset that starts depreciating the second it enters your house. But here's where most people completely miss what's actually happening. When you finance purchases, you're not just paying for the item. You're training your brain to think in terms of monthly payments instead of total cost. And once your brain makes that switch, you're done. You'll look at everything through the lens of, can I afford the monthly payment? Instead of, do I have the money for this? That psychological shift is worth more to retailers than the actual interest they charge you. Stick with me here because the third one is going to surprise you. Premium cable and streaming packages. Now, before you think I'm some minimalist weirdo who thinks you should live in a cave, hear me out. The average American household now pays $273 per month on streaming services, premium cable, music subscriptions, and app subscriptions. That's $3,276 per year for the right to watch other people live interesting lives while you sit on your couch. Here's the math that should terrify you. That $273 per month, invested over 30 years at average market returns, becomes $380,274. You are literally paying almost $400,000 for the privilege of watching Netflix. And this is where most people mess this up. They think, well, entertainment has value. I need to relax. And sure, entertainment has value. A $10 Netflix subscription has value. But 12 different streaming services, premium cable with every sports package, Spotify Premium, YouTube Premium, 3 different app subscriptions you forgot you had, that's not entertainment value anymore. That's financial self-sabotage with a remote control. The psychological trap here is that each individual subscription feels tiny. It's just $15 a month. That's like 2 coffees. But your brain doesn't naturally aggregate those tiny recurring charges into the massive annual cost they actually represent. That's by design. Companies have literally studied how to keep the monthly cost just below your pain threshold, so you never cancel. Now, you might be thinking this sounds impossible to avoid in modern life. Here's the thing, you can have entertainment. Get 1 or 2 services, rotate them every few months. The new season of the show you want to watch comes out, subscribe for a month, binge it, cancel. You'll save thousands per year, and honestly, you'll probably be happier because you'll be more intentional about what you're watching, instead of just scrolling for 40 minutes trying to find something. The fourth thing is eating out for convenience instead of actual enjoyment. And this is something that trips up even people who think they're being financially responsible. The average American household spends $313 per month eating out. But here's what I've noticed looking at hundreds of bank statements. Most of that isn't even at restaurants they love. It's Tuesday night when they're tired and they order $47 worth of mediocre Thai food on DoorDash that costs $22 if they'd picked it up themselves. Let me break down what's actually happening with this one, because the math is honestly depressing. That $313 per month becomes $3,756 per year. If you cut that in half, not eliminated it, just cut it in half by meal prepping and being more intentional, and invested the savings, you'd have $206,893 in 30 years. That's a paid-off house in many parts of the country. You're trading home ownership for convenience. But here's the kicker, and this is what nobody talks about. Most of the money spent on eating out doesn't even create memories. You won't remember that Tuesday night Thai food in 6 months. You won't remember the $12 sandwich you grabbed because you didn't pack lunch. Those purchases disappear into the void, taking your money with them and leaving you with literally nothing to show for it except a slightly higher credit card balance. The psychology here is fascinating and kind of dark. Food delivery apps are designed to remove every single friction point from the purchase process. You don't see the money leave your account. You don't see the markup. You don't see the delivery fee, the service fee, the tip adding up to sometimes 60% on top of the menu price. You just see pictures of food and a button that says, "Place order." Your brain never gets the signal that you're spending money until the credit card bill shows up 3 weeks later. And here's where it gets really interesting. Remember that $537,000 I mentioned at the beginning? We're about to close that loop, because the fifth thing that's keeping you broke is the most invisible one, and it's the reason that number is so specific. The fifth thing is buying brand new technology the second it comes out. And I know this one will make some people defensive, so let me explain exactly what I mean. I'm not saying don't have a phone or a computer. I'm saying you don't need the $1,200 iPhone on launch day when last year's model does 98% of the same things for $400. You don't need the newest MacBook every 2 years when your current laptop works perfectly fine. Here's the actual cost. The average person upgrades their phone every 2.3 years and spends an average of $1,100 per phone. That's $478 per year. Throw in a new laptop every 3 years at $1,500. That's another $500 per year. Then there's the tablet, the smartwatch, the wireless earbuds, the smart home devices. The average tech enthusiast spends about $2,100 per year on tech upgrades. That same person, buying last-gen or refurbished tech and upgrading less frequently, would spend maybe $700 per year and have basically the same quality of life. That $1,400 annual difference, invested over 30 years, becomes $154,518. And when you add up all 5 of these categories, the new car, the financed furniture, the subscription bloat, the convenience eating, and the tech upgrades, you get to that $537,000 figure. That's not made up. That's the actual compound cost of these 5 spending patterns over a working lifetime. But here's what actually happens when you stop buying these things, and this is the part that will probably surprise you. Your life doesn't get worse, it gets better. Because here's what nobody tells you about financial security. It doesn't just change your bank account, it changes who you are as a person. When you have 6 months of expenses saved up, you walk into work differently. You don't take crap from the boss who's been pushing you around because you need this job. You have what I call walking away money. You can afford to set boundaries. You can afford to look for better opportunities. That $10,000 in your savings account is worth way more than $10,000 because it fundamentally shifts your relationship with risk. When you're not making payments on a $45,000 car, you're not worried about losing your job. When you're not drowning in financed furniture payments, you can actually take the career risk that might lead to a better position. Financial security doesn't just give you money, it gives you options. And options in life are worth more than almost anything you can buy. I struggled with this too until I actually tracked my spending for 1 month and realized I was spending $847 on things I genuinely didn't care about. Subscriptions I forgot I had, food deliveries that weren't even that good, the $73 car air freshener subscription. Yes, that was real. The hardest part wasn't cutting the spending. It was admitting to myself that I'd been sabotaging my own future for temporary conveniences I didn't even enjoy. Here's the identity shift that has to happen, and this is critical. You can't just white-knuckle your way through not buying this stuff. You have to become the type of person who doesn't want it. The person who looks at a new car and sees a wealth transfer device. The person who looks at financing furniture and sees a trap. The person who sees a DoorDash order and thinks, that's $73 of my future retirement I'm about to trade for lukewarm pad thai. But here's where most people mess this up, and I see it constantly. They get motivated. They stop buying all this stuff for 3 months. They save $5,000. And then they think, I've been so good, I deserve a reward. And they blow that $5,000 on exactly the type of purchase that got them into this situation in the first place. They finance a $30,000 car because they've earned it. And now they're worse off than when they started, because now they have a payment and depleted savings. The trap is thinking that wealth building is about restriction, and eventually you get to stop restricting yourself. That's not how it works. Wealth building is about completely rewiring what you actually want. It's about reaching the point where you genuinely don't want the new car because you can see the opportunity cost. You see that car and your brain automatically calculates, that's $200,000 of my retirement. No thanks. And this is where it gets kind of beautiful, honestly. Once you make that mental shift, once you become the person who naturally avoids these wealth-destroying purchases, building wealth becomes almost automatic. You're not fighting yourself anymore. You're not using willpower to resist. You just genuinely don't want the things that keep other people broke. The compound effect works both ways. Just like small purchases compound into massive long-term costs, small savings compound into massive long-term wealth. That $739 you're not spending on a car payment becomes $1.08 million. That $150 you're not spending on subscription bloat becomes $165,000. The math works exactly the same, whether you're compounding debt or compounding wealth. The only difference is which direction you point it. Your future self is already out there, 30 years from now, either thanking you or resenting you for the decision you're about to make. The 55-year-old version of you is either financially free because you refuse to buy these 5 things, or they're still working, still stressed, still making payments on stuff that's already in a landfill, wondering where all the money went. You don't need more income to build wealth. You need to stop funding your own poverty with purchases designed to make you feel temporarily successful while keeping you permanently broke. The new car doesn't make you rich. The paid-off used car and the investment account makes you rich. The difference is one feels good today and the other makes you wealthy tomorrow. Start building that foundation today because your future self is counting on the decision you make right now. Stop buying the comfort. Start buying your freedom.